This is BBC One, and now it's time for Play School with Chris Tranchell, Lionel Morton and Jane Hardy.
Get ready to play. What's the day?
It's Wednesday.
Hello. A visitor in Play School today is Bertie, who's come to see us again. Hello, Bertie. How are you? You look good and bright-eyed. You want to go back? All right. I've been doing a drawing of Bertie, and I've purposely left some bits out for a game. Because Jane is here today, and she's going to finish him off.
Hello.
Hello,
It's
Jane.
my first visit to Play School today, and I'm ready to go. I've had a look at Bertie.
You all right?
Yes.
Have a good look.
Yes.
And now if you put this on before we play the game.
Oh, dear. Right. Oh,
This,
can't see a thing.
So you can't see too clear, all right? Is that all right?
Yes, that's fine.
All right, now, so the hand doesn't know where the board is. Here we go. Now, I forgot to put the tail on,
Oh,
Bertie.
the tail, right? I'll put the tail there.
You're a bit off the page. Come back a
Oh,
bit.
dear. There?
That's better,
Oh,
yes. And an ear. He has an ear
An
missing.
ear. There.
And another eye.
Eye. There.
And some whiskers. And a big back leg.
Oh, a big back leg. Oh,
And perhaps
there.
you could do a tree in the park.
a tree in the park. There.
And now just a fly on the end of Bertie's nose.
Oh, the nose, I think, would be there. There.
OK. Have a look and
Right.
see.
Oh, dear. Nearly off the page. I'll go and finish up by Bertie.
A different game this time. I'll draw a picture without looking at it, and without taking the pen off the paper. See if you can guess what it is. That's a wheel. That's another wheel. And, in here, they're crates. They used to have milk inside them. It's a milk float. And a man in his cab should be about there, keeping the pen on the page as his arm going down to the wheel to steer the float with. Yes, there's a lamp on the front too, and there's a road underneath, and he can just be going past a lamppost. Okay. Yes. Lucky I told you what it was, wasn't it?
Dum, dum. There. Third one. Oh. There. Finger paints for footprints. Whose footprints are they, do you think? Who rolled in the mud behind the garage door? Who left footprints across the kitchen floor? Whoop, whoop. I know a dog whose nose is cold. I know a dog whose nose is cold. Who chased raindrops down the windows? Who smudged the glass with the end of his nose? I know a dog with a cold at his nose. I know a dog with a cold at his nose. Who wants a bath and a big crunchy biscuit? Who wants to bed down in his fireside basket? Me, said Ronzo. I'm the dog with a cold. Oh, achoo!
When the wind is in the east, 'tis neither fit for man nor beast. Bertie doesn't mind. Do you, Bertie? You'll be all right. He's got a wet nose. He's got a nice fur coat to keep him warm. I got my jumper to keep me warm. That's a clue for some animals you can see through the window. They need a good coat in the winter to keep the wind out, and so do the people who look after them. Have a look and see, through the arched window. Here comes the shepherd with his children and their dog. They're going out to the fields to look after the sheep. They'll tell you all about looking after sheep.
When the sheep are lambing up on the hill, it's quite a long drive. We have to go up to 500 foot and down the other side. It can be very wet, or it can be freezing. We can have ice, snow, all sorts of conditions. And we go up all hours of the day and the night. When we go up after breakfast, the first thing we do is to let the sheep out that are about to lamb, and then we make sure that the ones that have lambed and are in their pens are all comfortable. My two children, Sally and Clive, are a great help to me.
We went into the barn and we had to let the sheep that were going to lamb out into the field so as they could have the grass, because they have to sleep for 8 hours, eat for 8 hours and chew the cud for 8 hours. And they can't do that unless they've got grass.
In you go. Hold in there. Hold in there. How are you then? You all right? There we are. Come on, little dear. Come on a bit more. Come on, then. There we are. Come on. Come on, then.
I like the lambing season especially because I can help Daddy with the lambs. I can feed the lambs when they have to be penned up because they haven't got a mother. We've got one at the moment. It's Oscar. It's about 3 weeks old and it's fed at about 7 o'clock, then at 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and then at tea time. I have to put my 2 fingers over the teat so as he doesn't pull it off. He's very lively and fierce at times, and we're going to keep it, I think. Come on. Come on. Come on, Oscar. Come on. Come on.
When we go to the field to put the cake into the troughs, we also like to check the sheep at the same time, because 3 pairs of eyes looking at them is a lot better than 1. And I've got a very quiet little dog. Her name's Fly. And if you have a quiet dog, then you have a quiet flock. And if you've got a quiet flock, they're much easier to handle and much easier to look after. They don't all jump up and run away when you come. In fact, we've got one sheep that's very, very friendly. And Sally calls it her granny or her friendly sheep. She will always come up to you whenever you go into the field just to see if you've got any food for her.
Hello. Charlie, Sparky, and Katoo, 3 feathered friends of me and you. Here in play school they sit, pruning feathers a bit. Well, a cockatoo would, wouldn't it? Birds of a feather all together, Sparky and Katoo over there. Charlie's on here, she might chew my ear. Well, a cockatoo would, wouldn't it? Cock-a-doodle-doodle toodaloo, cock-a-doodle-doodle toodalay, cock-a-doodle-doodle-doo, cock-a-doodle-doodle-ay. Well, a cockatoo would, wouldn't it? Charlie, Sparky, and Katoo, what do you think they're going to do? They might blink and stare, squawk or fly in the air. Well, a cockatoo would, wouldn't it? Cock-a-doodle-doodle toodaloo, cock-a-doodle-doodle toodalay, cock-a-doodle-doodle-doo, cock-a-doodle-doodle-ay. Well, a cockatoo would, wouldn't it? A cockatoo would, wouldn't it?
1, 2, 3. More cockatoos hidden in this tree here. See how many you can spot. Well, there's a head popping out 1, a wing there 2, and a foot there 3. Oh, another head there 4, another wing there 5, 6. Oh, a head popping out there 7, another foot 8, another head 9, 10, 11. 11 cockatoos and 1 parrot.
Pretty Polly, pretty Polly. Hello, Dad. Hello, Dad. Mind your head. Mind your head.
You ever heard a pet parrot speak? You try it. Just make a squeaky noise as though you had a big beak and were trying to speak with a big beak in front.
Hello. Hello. Pretty Polly. Pretty Polly.
People try and teach parrots to speak. It takes them a long time to learn. They copy the things you say to them. Pretty Polly. Pretty Polly.
Pretty Polly. Pretty Polly.
Watch your head. Watch your head.
What's your head? What's your head?
Here's a story about someone who's been trying for years to teach their parrot to talk. I got a parrot. His name's Uncle Fred. He's green and blue and yellow with a little bit of red. I talk to him each day in the hopes that he'll say, "Pretty Polly, hello, Dad, mind your head." But Uncle Fred won't talk, doesn't even squawk. I'm afraid there's something very wrong, because Uncle Fred won't speak. No, not a single squeak. All he ever does is hiccup all day long. When he was just a chick and pretty little bird, we put him near the baby, which was really quite absurd. The baby's food was tinned, which gave it dreadful wind, and hiccups was the only thing he heard. Now Uncle Fred won't talk, doesn't even squawk. I'm afraid there's something very wrong, because Uncle Fred won't speak. No, not a single squeak. All he ever does is hiccup all day long. I try to teach him poems. I try to teach him verse. Hasn't learned a line, but his hiccups get much worse. I take him to the vet, but hasn't cured him yet, because all he does is hiccup at the nurse. No, Uncle Fred won't talk, doesn't even squawk. I'm afraid there's something very wrong, because Uncle Fred won't speak. No, not a single squeak. All he ever does is hiccup all day long. I don't know how to cure him. I haven't got a clue. I've done the best I can. No, I don't know what to do. I think that you'll agree it's very bad for me, because now I find that I've got hiccups too. No, Uncle Fred won't talk, doesn't even squawk. I'm afraid there's something very wrong, because Uncle Fred won't speak. No, not a single squeak. All he ever does is hiccup all day long. If you've got a glass of water? Pardon?
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 Someone in Jubilee Court's got a parrot. Do you remember who it was had a parrot? Mr. Clutterbuck. And he's covered the parrot cage for the night. Chiming midnight. All the lights are out. Everyone in Jubilee Court is asleep.
Up and down the staircase, in and out the door, visiting the Smith family on the second floor. The Patels are underneath them with Mr. Clutterbuck below. When they meet their neighbours, they stop and say, hello, or meow. In the dark, dark wood, there was a dark, dark house. And in that dark, dark house, there was a dark, dark room. And in that dark, dark room, there was a dark, dark cupboard. And in that dark, dark cupboard, there was a dark, dark shelf. And on that dark, dark shelf, there was a jam donut.
A sweet wrapper fish. Bloop, 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 bloop. I'll make another one to keep him company. Draw it out first of all. Then cut it out. Around the tail. Right round the front. And another bright, sweet wrapper. Fold it all over him. Got two of them now. Splish, bloop, 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 bloop. I've got a tank for them as well. This tank is cut out from a shoebox, nearly all cut away, just left the frame here. And inside some pebbles and shells from the seaside. Strips of crepe paper to look like seaweed. If I stick my two fish onto thin strips of cardboard with a piece of tape, over you go. That one there, and that one there. I can then put them into the tank. Splosh! Have you ever thought what happens in a fish tank at night? When you put the light off and toddle off to bed, you'd never think a pair of goldfish could have so much fun. Our guests are just arriving, now the party's just begun.
But only fish know how to disco. Only fish can rock and roll. So don't be late, put on your disco skates. We're grooving at the Goldfish Bowl. Fish love soul music, imagine how it feels. Bop into the sound of the electric eels. All the little guppies only have one wish. They dreamed they were dancing with a superstar fish. But only fish know how to disco. Only fish can rock and roll. So don't be late, put on your disco skates. together, give your tail a swish, keep a steady beat, shake like a jellyfish. Crabs come creeping sideways, they sometimes shake a leg to send and deliver by Adam and the ants' eggs. But only fish know how to disco, only fish can rock and roll. So don't be late, put on your disco skates, we're grooving at the disco ball. We're grooving, oh we're grooving, yeah, we're grooving, ah, we're grooving at the Goldfish Bowl.
And when you came down in the morning, you'd know nothing about it. Perhaps you'd like to make your own fish tank and fish to swim around in. Time for us to go now. Oh, we could just have one more game of the drawing without looking what you're doing. Jane,
Yes?
is your card ready for one more
Right,
go?
yes.
Your pen? You thought what you're going to draw?
Yes.
Have I thought what I'm going to draw? Yes. Okay, go. That's a beak. It's coming round his head and right down to his long tail. It's a big cockatoo with an eye and those big feathers they have on top of their head. On a perch, or feet. How are you getting on?
All right, I'm doing a fish, and I just finished just putting an eye in there. Some fins there. And up there. And some pebbles on the bottom, I think.
I've done a bell in the cage and need something for his water and the seed and then the edge of the cage. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.